Well, years ago, Jason McIntyre was out there. I think he was anonymous. He ran one of them blogs, and then somebody bought it and made him rich. But the whole time, I used to tell people all the time, that guy's a hustler. I like this J-Mac guy. He's a hustler. And then, we work together. That's very rare. So whatever happened in the cosmos, whatever, you're still a hustler. And for years, I watched Dianna Russini, and she was in news, and then she did sports, and then she went to ESPN, and now she works at The Athletic as a senior NFL insider. And I've watched her break stories for years. What a pleasure it is to finally meet you. Very happy for your success. And okay, let's just start with this. You've been on the Joe Burrow stuff, so I follow you. You know your stuff. Give me, it doesn't feel like there's acrimony, Dianna. Is Burrow and the Bengals, are they close? Is there any acrimony, or are they going to get this thing done?
Well, first of all, hi, Jason. Nice to see and hear you guys. Hello, Colin. Thanks for having me on. I'm obviously a very big fan of the show. I've been following for years and listening. Back in the day when I knew absolutely nothing about sports and I was living out in Seattle trying to learn, I would listen to you. So if I say anything stupid during this appearance today, it falls fully on your lap because I learned from you. So the Joe Burrow story, Colin, I just find this to be really interesting as you look at the landscape of the league as we're headed here into the start of this season. This is a story that needs to be talked about more. Joe Burrow's contract is not done. The owner has said he wants to pay him, right? He's been very open about that. Joe Burrow feels confident that he's going to get paid. And the sense that I'm getting just from talking to people around the league, people in the building in Cincinnati, people that are even close to Joe Burrow, that this is going to get done soon. Everyone is very optimistic. I'm not sensing any concern that there's a big disagreement. It's just the timing of all this. So now here we are just a few days out from when they head over to Cleveland to open up against the Browns. And I've had people around the league, Colin, reach out to me that aren't with the Cincinnati Bengals who've said, are they crazy rolling out Joe Burrow, the face of this franchise for perhaps maybe the next 10 years, and he's going to step foot on the field without a deal? This may not be the smartest business. But from what I can gather from having these conversations, Joe is not concerned about it. The calf is good. He practiced full on Monday. He practiced full today. So that's not going to be a problem. And apparently this contract isn't going to be an issue, too. So he'll be out there no matter what. I just have question marks about what's the holdup here? Why not get this done?
Okay, now, Nick Bosa, you're talking about, listen, quarterbacks, edge rushers, left tackles make a lot of money in star receivers. But the Niners have a lot of players now that are high-end players. Fred Warner, George Kittle, Christian McCaffrey, Trent Williams. And they got a group of, Debo now makes good money. And they've got a group of young players who are going to get paid here in the next year or two. So with Nick Bosa, you just can't give him what he wants. You got to negotiate this puppy. They do have Brock Purdy, so they get a break there on the salaries. But the Nick Bosa thing doesn't feel like Burrow. It feels like there could be a little rigidity with the Niners. Where are we at on that one?
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it because it's not like it, right? Joe Burrow's camp, they know that this is happening. Everyone's on the same page, or at least they're close. This does not seem to be very close, and it hasn't seemed to be very close this entire summer. This isn't a player that has shown up to training camp and has spent time around the team. He's not there. He's not there today, right? So they open up in just a few days as well. And there's a world here where Nick Bosa is not on the field for the San Francisco 49ers, and you can understand where Bosa is coming from. And when you get into really just the nitty gritty of the money here, of what he's looking for, you just have to keep going back to that Aaron Donald deal, right? That's the kind of money he is looking for, right? And all these players here, outside obviously Joe Burrow here, they're looking to be the highest paid non-quarterback player, including Justin Jefferson, who is another player looking to get a new contract. But Nick Bosa, this one is the one that concerns me the most. Do I believe that Nick Bosa can show up if they agree to a deal later this afternoon, step on the field and be completely fine? Mike Tomlin doesn't seem to be too concerned that Bosa will be there. He thinks he'll show up, and they're preparing. The Steelers, I know for a fact, are preparing as if Bosa will be there because they know one phone call, Colin, and I've had GMs tell me this for years. You can talk all day long about this. The deal's not, they're far apart. It's not coming together. One call changes it all. and you can make a deal work.
Yeah.
And the Niners want him, and their defense is going to be exposed if Nick Bosa is not on the field.
Yeah. Okay, so you've been around the Jets a lot. They got the hard knock stuff, but that's edited. You're seeing the warts. You're seeing the tension, the O-line. And I've said it's very rare that I've ever seen a team go into a season with huge question marks at offensive tackle, both sides, and they're great, especially in a division where, Buffalo's got a rush. Belichick, defensive coach. Bradley Chubb now for the Dolphins. So I worry about the Jets. I do think there are some flashing warning signs here if they can't get it right at tackle. Just give me, you've been around them a lot. Give me a positive and something that you did notice that maybe is a concern.
Yeah, that's exactly how I would have presented it to you, Colin, because there is so much positive. And they are a kind of team when you step and watch them on the sideline and you watch them go through drills, you see the talent. Even going back a few months ago, the first time I actually saw Aaron Rodgers in the offense going through drills, I looked over at my producers at the time and said, my God, he is so good. You just forget almost at times. You take him for granted, all that ability. You hear and we've seen it for years, but when you saw him out there with this team, it just really stood out, the talent level that he's at and really his fitness, what he physically looks like. And of course, we've seen it for the last few months, just the pure joy he's playing with and how happy he seems, right? So, and everything stems from Aaron Rodgers. This is an organization that has given him full control. It is an Aaron Rodgers show. And you have to give credit to this organization for at least allowing that, because I do believe that there are teams across the league that may have not handed the keys over fully.
That's
the way
right.
The New York Jets have smartly done. They sat there and go, you know what? We haven't gotten it right ever. So let's give it to someone who knows what they're doing. Similarly, what we're seeing over in Denver, right, with the Broncos, with Sean Payton saying, hey, take it. Full control here, but now we're seeing a player do it. And to have a guy hold players accountable, that is more powerful than anything else you'll see on a field. I often think that sometimes that's even better than a coach, right? Because you have a player out there who's really in that hybrid position, coach and player. But the offensive line has been the issue. Colin, I think we're going to be talking about this again in October. This isn't something that's just getting fixed. They're going to try to piece it. They're going to try to find ways to use other players to protect Aaron. But if we start seeing Aaron Rodgers get hit over and over, you have to wonder come this trade deadline if this New York Jets team is going to make a move. Right.
Travis Kelce. Both Jason and I feel like Detroit's the play just because Chris Jones is out. Lions O-line's actually really good. I buy into Detroit. I don't think I think the hype is legitimate. I don't think they're a 13-win team, but I think they could be 10-11, and I think they'll give Kansas City a real test. Chris Jones not there. He's a dominant performer. Travis Kelce, though, they've won a lot of games, a lot of shootouts, as long as Mahomes and Travis Kelce are healthy. So what is the latest? Jason Kelce's talking about it. Do you think he plays?
Yeah, I think Travis Kelce, if that knee, if the swelling is contained, I think he will push to try to play, right? So we don't know for sure at this point. I've had conversations with people that are close to the situation, and obviously everyone's fingers are crossed to just see how he's going to feel on Thursday morning, right? This truly is one of those day-to-day situations, but this is a player who we know is that security blanket on offense for Patrick Mahomes. He's obviously crucial in the red zone. We've seen it over and over again. He is their top receiver on this team. And you look at this young group here that is coming together in Kansas City. And yeah, maybe there isn't another guy that stands out. Sky Moore, a lot of potential there. You're hearing tons of great things. Andy Reid saying, even in the offseason, that's the goal, to get him as many targets as possible during training camp to sort of develop him in the second year in the offense for him. That being said, they need Travis Kelce out there. Those guys can get the job done, but obviously we know that he's going to be the most productive player there. So Travis doesn't miss a lot of games because of injuries. So I would be surprised if he wasn't out there, but then again, it's early in the season here. They may want to play it smart.
Okay, so I know that I don't know if you've covered them regularly, but I know Sean Payton. He sat on our chairs here for 20 weeks. Give me to wrap it up, Dianna Russini joining us for our radio audience. I kind of think they're a 9 or a 10, not a 10 or a 12. I don't think they make the playoffs. I think they're very captivating. all the stuff you hear, all your sources, all your knowledge of Sean Payton, just give me your guess on what it looks like for Denver. There's a lot of moving parts, changing culture, changing staffs. What do you think it looks like?
Well, I definitely don't have to guess that when you're trying to wrap them up to get to commercial, it was probably impossible because we know how much Sean Payton likes to talk, and you're seeing him talk a lot about this team right now. And the thing is, the talking that he's doing right now about this Broncos team, from what I can gather, and even just having conversations with him specifically, but others on this team, people associated with the Denver Broncos, even players, there's a reason he's doing this, and he is trying to put the pressure on himself. He is trying to point out, hey, I can fix this. Don't focus on the players. Put it on me, and we'll figure this out. Look, I have all the belief in the world. This man pays attention to detail like no one I've ever seen before, that he is going to come up with game plans every week and make them competitive. I do believe, though, it is going to be very difficult in this first year to get this team with the playoffs with the way this roster looks at this point.
Yeah, O-line, they've got all sorts of new faces. Hamler, you worry about him. Jerry Jeudy now, the injuries. Dianna Russini, great work. You'll be on again. Terrific career. Congrats at The Athletic. I subscribe and read it all day long. Thanks for taking time for us today in our New York studio, Dianna. Appreciate it. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.